This show is brought to you
Hello,
by.
guys. How you doing? Lydia from Richie Heights. I am here with Juju, the model, and Gypsy from the Hangover Takeover.
Yo,
I
what's
don't
up?
have all the sound effects like you guys do. Bah, bah, bah. Of course, tell me the story of how you did come into it, but when you did, what did you expect, or what were you like hoping that it turned out to be?
So I started the show back in, I think it was 2010. I was working for the airlines. I was working for JetBlue Airways, and I turned it into a travel blog. And I ended up doing that. And I called it the Standby Gypsy, and it was pretty cool. I'd go from city to city and just write about it and stuff like that. And then some of my friends who are now my business partners, Frank, Mike, and Anthony, they had a studio in Portchester. I knew they did a kind of radio broadcast show thing, web show on Ustream. And I figured maybe I could be a travel blogger for them. They
Right.
had a website for it and everything. So I was a guest on their show, and I'll never forget it. It's to this day one of the greatest broadcasts I've ever done. I brought in a bottle of that rum, the Kraken. I don't know if you guys
Okay.
know what. Yeah, this was like years ago, and we had a ball. So I had so much fun that dude, we don't even have a name for the show, and we go live tomorrow. And we just started spitballing. And the movie Hangover had just come out,
Ah.
and started playing word association games, and he was like, Hangover Takeover, Takeover Hangover. I was like, no, Hangover Takeover. And it just
Yeah.
came from there. Yeah.
Boom, birth. The birth
Yep.
of the Hangover
Right.
Takeover.
That's
That
right.
is awesome. And I know that Juju has a similar story, except it was on your show, right? That you came in?
I was actually asked to be a guest on the Hangover Takeover from my modeling career at the time. I had visited the studio prior, and apparently Gypsy liked me so much, he asked me to stay.
I like your
Well,
style,
he
kid.
asked
I
me to
like your
come back
style.
on the show for our community, a platform basically to essentially tell their story, brand, business, give them the opportunity that otherwise wouldn't be available to them.
Right.
And I mean, these are notable talents. These are people that should be just as popular as some of, the more popular, I don't know, radio music that you may hear, or designers or directors, if you will. And it's just in our communities, in our small towns, and where we live locally, we just find these amazing talents, and we're just like, we have to tell somebody about them.
Yeah.
Somebody. Yeah. And I think with the advent of the internet and technology, creative people, and I include ourselves in this, and I include you in this too, Lydia. We have the tools now. We're capable of showcasing our talents, and now even the quality of it. I mean, even this broadcast right here. I mean, this is dope what you're doing right here, and it wouldn't be possible without Instagram and things of that nature. But it's because of your talent that you're able. You know what I mean? That's the driving force behind it. So I think it's just a combination of timing, technology, and talent. I love my alliterations.
Me too. So good.
that everything's just kind of like coming together for a lot of people. So the people that would not normally have had a voice, whether it's through podcasting or through music or through wellness avenues and stuff like that, it's all coming together for everyone. So it's like it's perfect. It's perfect.
That's precisely what it's about.
It's funny. I tell some people the story that I got so many co-hosts the first time was because I was so shy. I was kind of like hiding behind everyone else, like, so no one would pay attention to me. And, but over time, people gave me confidence and said, you really look like you know what you're doing. And, I really like the sound of your voice, it's a good radio voice, so on and so forth. And I just, I grew confidence within that.
Right.
And then, from there. So, I mean, as far as the networking and stuff like that, they were buddies of mine. Friends. It's crazy. The butterfly effect.
Yeah.
A friend of a friend of a friend of a friend, and it's not like, I came from this crazy place where I know these, people that have these secret ins or anything like that. No, it's a bunch of high school guys that use their credit cards because they believed in their dream, and they got the studio. They're not rich or anything like that. So again, going back to what you're saying, it's about the sacrifice and really believing in your passion. If my partners hadn't, believed in themselves to max out their credit cards to build the first studio, then we wouldn't even be here doing this interview right now.
Yeah.
One thing leads to the other. So, one of the biggest takeaways that I've learned in the past, almost a decade, is patience. And, you know, the road is not pretty. It's not always fun. It's ugly. There's times when you just want to quit, you know, or you're not happy with yourself. You don't like yourself because you're like, what the hell am I doing? Maybe I need to go get a regular ass job. But then you figure out ways to juggle it, you know.
I mean, you just gave me the juice, boy, because really it's exactly those things. Like it's about following your passion. I mean, I don't think anybody that's out here doing that, following their passion, can truly say that it's easy or that it was like, you know, that they stepped into it and just blew up, you know, hardly ever. But you have a lot of trials, a lot of tribulations, and you just have to follow that passion. And like you said, that other part about balancing it, you know, doing what it is that you need to do in order. Yeah, we all got to pay bills. Do what you need to do to pay bills. But yes, follow that passion, because that's really what brings you alive. You know, that really what ignites you, ignites your soul, ignites your whole entire life. And so that's worth really going after, about the impact that you want it to make.
My vision for the show is always to be an Arsenio Hall type show, in a sense of Arsenio Hall had everyone on his show from Bill Clinton to Tupac. Like, he really got in there and interviewed everyone and gave everyone a platform to talk their mess, whatever it was, you know, for better or for worse. And so I want our show to showcase that the interests between myself and my co-host are vast. And this represents, you know, the people that look like us. So, you know, long standing, I want it to be, you know, it's obviously, most people take a quick look at it and they say, oh, it's an urban show, or it's a, you know, it's a hip hop show or whatever. But it's really not. When you really, really look at it, you know, it's a late night talk show that interviews a wide range of people, and not just within music. We do like to highlight music because we love it, but you know, we interview people of talent. You know, that could be in any genre. So
what would you tell anybody that is thinking about, you know, pursuing their dreams or starting something up? What would be your advice?
I don't know, Ju, what do you got?
I was going to say, it's not easy. It's not going to be easy. So know right now that it's going to be hard. It's going to be difficult, and you're going to want to quit. But you got to keep going.
Yeah, listen to that voice in the back of your head. When that voice stops, that's when you know that maybe this wasn't for you. And that's okay. Like, you should at least try whatever it is. But if you are a person that can't, you know, go to sleep because they're always thinking about that dream or that passion, then if you're going to take that step, then do it. But yeah, like you said, it's not easy. You're going to want to quit. But just surround yourself with people. I think that's the most important thing. Try and surround yourself around people that are like-minded, that are positive, that are doing similar things to you. And even if, you know, about consistency and quality of your brand and stuff like that. So if you can't put in that consistent effort, you know, if that day-to-day routine of doing your dream gets to you, then again, it's not for you. And again, that's okay, but just be okay with that.
A lot of gems there, because it is, anybody that's trying to strive and do something on their own, it's lonely. It does get lonely because you're going outside of the norm. You're going outside of the everyday. And so the people that you're around all the time may not be on the same page that you are, but you absolutely have to keep going and listening to that part. If you feel it in your gut that you got to do something, then just drive it home and make sure you hang in there. Drop the handles and how they stay connected.
Right, you can follow us on Instagram. Check out our IGTV and our highlights at the Hangover Takeover. You can follow us on Twitter at THT Podcast Show. We're a podcast, so you can listen to us whenever, wherever, with whomever on iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher, and a newly formed podcast platform, Listen Notes. You can check them out. And we have an awesome YouTube channel, The Hangover Takeover. Subscribe, repost, review. We'd appreciate it. Thanks.
And the website coming up, right? All
yeah,
right.
yeah. THTpodcastshow.com.
Exactly. THTpodcast.com.
That's right. Well, thank you very much. Check you out.